GTO tests. In our series of SSB Made Simple, let us go through the entire process once again. Just to come back to the grid, let's just revise. The service selection board are the selection centers and not rejection centers. They are actually looking for candidates, and their aim is to feed the academies where seats are going vacant. So as the normal myth or normal perception, they are not there to reject. The second thing, they are looking for certain qualities by three methods. The psychologist is trying to test your subconscious mind, your thought process. By pressurizing you under time, they are trying to get your first reactions, the first thoughts on the officer-like qualities and conduct. The interviewing officer, on the other hand, is trying to find out the same officer-like qualities by talking to you in a conversation method, one-to-one, where thinking time is again very less because you are in a conversation. The third assessor is the group testing officer. We checked his three tests, which were called the verbal tests, and they were the lecturates, the group discussions and half group discussions, and the group planning exercise. Let us come to the activity oriented group tests, which are within the purview of the group testing officer. The group testing officer, to remind you once again, is going to put us through the group activities. In the command task, he nominates one person or you as a leader. He explains a situation or a problem to you on a set of very, very simple obstacles. The aim is that with the help of the three appliances which have been given to you, which are basically a plank, a log, and a rope, anybody with normal common sense should be able to get over those obstacles and complete the task. The tasks are designed not to be very difficult, but they do require some application of mind. So having explained the task to you, having explained the rules to you, having explained the method of using these three appliances, the GTO is now looking at you to see how you have perceived the problem, how you call your team or make a team out of the group. Whom all do you call? How do you explain the problem to them? How do you explain the solution to them? And then how do you go along with them as a team to achieve the desired result? Just see, what he is checking is your perceiving of the problem, your explanation of the problem, your perception and explanation of the solution, and then your getting down shoulder to shoulder with your team to complete the assigned task. In between, what he'll also do is to add or delete or change the nature of certain obstacles. The aim is to see your presence of mind, to see how do you perceive a changed situation and how do you explain it to your team, how do you all react, and how do you still achieve the results. He may put in one change, two changes, three changes, depending on the way you progress and depending on the way he wants to assess. And let me tell you, there is a method in madness. It is not done in a random order. It is only when he wants to bring out certain point or he wants to assess a certain point that he introduces some changes. So, what we have to do is, we have to understand the problem first. Listen to him properly. Then select the team which is most suitable. Next, you must be able to explain the problem in your own language. Next, you should be able to get a solution. Now here comes the catch. When certain candidates have asked me, what if we don't get an idea? Can we take help of our people? Yes. A leader need not always get all the ideas. He may resort to taking assistance or help from one of the team members. But the method is very organized and simple. You ask for the suggestions, pick up the best one, and then make it your own, plan based on that particular suggestion, and then execute it as your plan, the leader's plan. Do not hand over the command to somebody just because he has given a workable solution. Similarly, when you are an assistant or you are a member of the team, somebody else has been nominated a leader, please, for heaven's sake, don't take over the command. Let him complete his command task. Be a good subordinate. Raise your hand if you have got a better idea. If he gives you a chance, just give the idea in a nutshell so that he understands. And thereafter, just stay quiet, let him assume or reassume his command. The three appliances that you get, the log, the plank, and the ropes, are basically, the ropes are only to tie. The plank is to walk towards the next obstacle. And the log, since you cannot mount on it, it actually has to be used only to balance the plank along with the ropes. Just try it. Take a small scale, take a pen, take a pair of shoelaces, and try in making a bridge or a walking way to the next obstacle through any particular problem or obstacle, like handle of a chair, back of a chair, underneath of a chair, top of a chair, top of a handle, side of a handle, underneath a handle, anywhere. What you can also do is, there are a lot many YouTube videos on command task. See them, you will get to understand how to use the plank, the log, and the ropes. And the minute you got the hang of it, you are not required to put too much of mind into it. It's very common sense to get to the solutions. But what is more important is, here you are the commander. What is important is your command, the way you perceive the problem, the way you work out a solution, the way you work for the solution. Planks, etc. are only a means. What I am interested in, leadership qualities. People do lose sight of the leadership qualities and they get totally absorbed in the plank or the rassi or the patta. That's not the aim. The aim is human behavior. The other three tasks, the obstacles race, the group task, the progressive group task, and the final group task, they are all attached to group activities without nominating the leader. There are obstacles and there are tasks which are assigned to the group. What I am only trying to see is that these obstacles are of a kind when one cannot or may not be able to do it individually. Some of them who are short may require some help. Some of them who are little obese or little flat, they may require a little bit of help. As a result, the group activity is generated because the task is given to the entire group and it has to be completed by the entire group. There could be obstacles like 8 feet rope, 8 feet wall, ditches, nets to climb, certain places where you require help, and all that has to be done as a group. Without nominating a leader, the group testing officer is on a lookout to check your group behavior, your social adjustments, your intra-group communications, leadership qualities, compatibilities, strength of your arguments, the common sense, the way you approach the common sense, the way you win the trust of your team, the way you come to solutions at certain stages. And in all the three, this is the key. If you actually can be a good team member, you actually eventually will be selected. So let's quickly revise the entire GTO task and the psychologist task that we have done as to what should we do to develop these traits and show these traits in the psychological test and the group tests. Gentlemen, this would not happen in the classrooms. This would not happen by doing tests alone. These tests are so scientifically and psychologically planned that you cannot deceive the assessors. So these traits must get into your personality, and I'll tell you how. The first and foremost thing is improve your communications. Improve your logics, reasonings. Connect your knowledge to the ground. Become member of teams, play games, play team games, or get into team activities like organizing picnics, like organizing Ganesh Puja, organizing wedding, pre-wedding or evening Sangeet. Take part in school fests, college fests. Get over your stage fear. Go and help others. Go to your parents, help them, understand them, understand your friends, understand your teams, make teams, help each other grow. And when you help each other grow, you will all grow. Become a better human being, become a responsible son, become a responsible sister, brother, become a responsible member of the society, become a responsible member of the country. Start thinking in that direction. When you start thinking about responsibility over a period of time, gradually these things will start developing as a habit. Thoughts lead to opinions and perceptions. They lead to actions. Repeated actions turn into behaviors and habits. And it is only when these thoughts get converted into habits that we actually can call these traits as our personality traits. And everything starts with the thought. Start thinking positively. Think two positives on everything. Read a lot of books. Books, fiction, drama, poetry, things other than your syllabus. But that is what is your uniqueness. Develop a good hobby. If you don't have one, pick up one. Google what a hobby is. Pick up anything. When you get into this mode, you are preparing for the SSB. And when you get into a SSB mode, your personality will shine. If you work on your personality, if you work on your growth, the careers, the successes will run after you. I'll continue for the interviewing officer's assessment. in the next episode. Thank you. Jai Hind.